Okay, so it seems like it finally happened. Well, obviously, as you guys know, Kayli Mills, the voice actor for Keqing, who has blocked me over on Twitter, it seems like she might be getting replaced, and very, very soon as well. Now, obviously, tons of people are very excited for this. You're gonna have to take a lot of this information with a grain of salt because this has come from an account called the Gacha Files. Now, obviously, we don't really know much about the Gacha Files. I don't know how many, they've got about 8,000 followers over on Twitter, which again, they say you're a reliable source of information, and they tend to have leaks of some things that are coming out in the game. And obviously, one of these things is the fact that they have named the English voice actor for Keqing here. I'm guessing Keqing is going to be involved in the story or something. But essentially, yeah, they say English CV, Kayli Mills, and Anonymous, which again has a lot of people very excited for the fact that it could mean that Kayli Mills is now finally being kicked out of Genshin Impact, which again is kind of funny, especially after all of the kind of big talking that she was doing in the community, and all of the kind of stuff that she's doing over on Twitter towards Jacob Takanashi, kind of pocket watching him and just being a horrible person overall. Now, I don't know why this has come about now and not earlier on. I'm not sure. Maybe there's some kind of implications behind that, something like that. But again, people are also asking stuff like, Paimon when, good, fire them all who don't voice right now and get better ones. I think, yeah, one of the biggest ones is probably the fact that they haven't actually turned up to work. So that's probably why they did get replaced. I mean, there could be multiple reasons. Maybe, she even decided to leave as a fact of, the community and things like that. But it's very, very exciting to see that we could be getting a new voice actor for Keqing who might actually voice the character for once, which, again, has a lot of people excited. And also, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to some of our other roles, as Kayli Mills is a very, very popular voice actor who also voices characters like Rappy from Nikke, who is, one of the main characters in Nikke. So it's going to be, interesting to see what Nikke and Shift Up do with her whenever it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure she's still been voicing for Nikke. So again, I don't think there will be any problems there. But at the same time, it will be interesting. I don't know. But yeah, I've seen people saying, does this mean Paimon should also be gone, please? Which again, would be very, very nice. So let's go. I hope they replace all the non-speaking characters, which again, is definitely true. I mean, at this point, after all of the, main strike has been, finished, they should be finished too. And obviously, I'm not saying that it's the same strike. Obviously, there's separate strikes, and their one is just a refusal to work. And they should have been back even while the strike was going on. But obviously, it's just a big topic, and it's just one of these things that is, going pretty insane at the moment. But they say, they need to make it official for Paimon, please. I'll re-download the game and even go back to spending my money again. So some people are even saying they're going to go back to the game, they're going to re-download the game due to the fact of them kicking Keqing's voice actor out, which I think is so funny. They say, now they should also fire her from Nikke. She doesn't deserve the role of the main cast of the story over there. Say, as much as I love Keqing, I was disappointed in the VA's behavior. I'm hoping that a new VA will sound really good though. Keqing is my favorite. They said goodbye and they added her, which is kind of crazy. They said as long as they don't replace her with someone who isn't really good at voicing, like the new Kenichi guy, I don't really care what happens. Which again, that's kind of shots at Jacob Takanashi there. But again, it's going to be crazy, and hopefully the new voice actor for Keqing doesn't get attacked by her or any other voice actors, because again, they've done nothing wrong if they do decide to take the job. There's a win for the community too. Now the most important one, replace Paimon VA2. This is some great news. Sucks because she actually did a good job voice acting, but I would rather have her replaced than anything. I hope the new VA can fill her shoes, which again is really, really good news. And yeah, obviously it's going to be interesting to see who the new voice actor is and if they found one, because again, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of voice actors out there who are going to be scared looking at this kind of, casting and saying, hey, should I really be doing this? I also might get attacked online on Twitter by all of these voice actors, which could go a little bit crazy. But there's also been some updates on the whole Mujin video stuff. People have been kind of crushing out about that over on Blue Sky. And this was some posts that Karina actually reposted over on their page. And they essentially say this person, Lil Karibo, who's been very, very, we've seen a lot of posts from this person skittering out over on Blue Sky. But they say, I'll never forget seeing the overwhelming support for continuing to fight for AI protections within the community as a whole. Many actors who don't have a huge platform voted to fight for what was achieved, and certain big names decided to use their platforms to undermine that. And then they put transparency is good, what they say, while actively going against what the majority of their colleagues were in favor of, because they knew nobody would believe actors with less clout than them. Never question my decision to quit professional voiceover because the lack of professionalism is astounding. Now, obviously, this is in regards to this person, who I'm pretty sure their name is Jennifer Hale. They are a voice actor, and essentially, yeah, they, do some voice acting. They were also included in the screenshots that Mujin posted on his video, and essentially, she responded to Mujin's tweet, pretty much saying, transparency is good. That's how we know this is connected. And obviously, she actually replies to this saying, blaming me might feel convenient, but it dismisses the broader concerns shared by many. What you're labeling as a consensus was shaped by only a portion of members, not the whole. It was a charged issue. Happy to talk more anytime. He said, I don't blame you for anything. I have respect for you as a performer and as a person. I do not think transparency is a justifiable reason to share a video like that. A lot of people are being attacked right now because of it. This strike had a positive ending, and I'm grateful for your work in it. Which again is crazy. They're saying, oh, well, I don't think transparency is a justifiable reason for releasing the video. Yes, it is. Yes, it 100% is. I mean, if the voice actors themselves won't give us the transparency that we want, then people like Mujin are going to do it for us. People like me, people like Paper Bag Boy are going to do it for you because, again, it's just one of those things where we're not being provided it by the voice actors themselves, so we'll find our own ways of doing it, and we'll find our own ways of getting to the bottom of it, and getting the transparency that we really want with the voice actors, and that we've been asking for ever since the start of these strikes. And saying that transparency isn't enough to share a video like this, it's crazy. And obviously we can keep going as well. Other people getting involved saying, a reminder that Jennifer did not have anything to do with the video. Older working actors who have paved their way and created amazing careers are not the enemy. They're ones to learn from. At the end of the day, the employers we struck against were and now are again employers, not the enemy. I said she did share the video though. That's the issue. They said the video was just screenshots of what people said. It was factual. If people are being ashamed of what they said in a relatively public forum, they should sit with that, which is definitely true. I mean, that's based. I mean, I don't know who this person is, but I mean, they're totally right there. They said it was factual. Might want to give this thread a perusal. I feel you are only aware of one aspect of the video. Now, I saw a bit of this thread. Obviously, they're saying here, they said, fine. You know what's wrong with Mujin's video? SAG isn't striking Hoyo. Which, yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm sure he even mentioned that in the video. Said, he calls striking actors entitled. So we're at 1.2, and they've already come up with a subjective statement. This is not objective. This isn't something that's like, it's not wrong. You can call striking actors entitled, You don't have to be right about that. You can believe that. You can think that they're entitled. There is no kind of like, hard proof that they're not entitled or hard proof that they are. It's more of an opinion, and you've already gone on to point 2 of saying what's wrong with this as a subjective thing, as something that someone could just think up about. They say he shares the sample interim agreement, which is not a real thing, apparently, and they say he claims SAG's AI agreements are hypocritical to the strike. They aren't. They were made for the voice actors' protections. Again, another opinion. So a lot of that just contained opinions rather than facts, which obviously shows you exactly how dumb these people are whenever it comes to this kind of stuff. They said, I also don't think that anyone is particularly ashamed of what they said. Based on what I'm seeing, the issue is that an already bloodthirsty crowd is now even more bloodthirsty because of this video. Whatever point was supposedly made by those screenshots has been lost to that. Now, obviously, this was the post that Karina actually shared on her Blue Sky and reposted up there, which, yeah, is kind of crazy. And obviously, this person said, the videos goes out of his way to undermine the efforts of striking performers who just achieved an incredibly win. I think that's contrary to everything being said about coming together and healing, which I just don't think is true. I feel like Mujin's video was very factual and informative about a lot of the voice actor strikes that have been going on, and about, what is actually going on behind the scenes with some of these voice actors, and, how this could affect, games like Genshin Impact and Hoyoverse, who aren't actually being struck. They're here saying like, oh, this is such a big win for them, they're taking away a big win for a strike, when in actual fact, it's not a big win because they're not involved in those strikes at all. Yeah, it's a big win for any of the voice actors working on Warner Brothers or whatever, all of these companies that have been struck previously. But the fact is, Hoyoverse and Genshin Impact are not part of this, Honkai Star is not a part of this. All of these voice actors are part of, this other thing, this collective refusal of work is a completely different thing. It's not a win for them. They are still, refusing to work. And that's the big issue. People, for some reason, get confused between the two and try to put them together as one big strike. No, they are separate strikes. One strike is now ended and they're, all happy and dancing about it. And one of them is still ongoing and it's not actually a strike. It's a refusal to work, which again, I think a lot of people just completely miss the whole point of that. So again, you know, just clearing that up a little bit. But yeah, I thought it was kind of crazy. I wanted to share that news with Keqing's voice actor actually being removed, or well, allegedly being removed. We don't really know. Maybe we'll come back and it'll be like something else. Maybe it could be an additional character or something like that, or a different version of Keqing which is voiced by someone else. I don't really know, but we'll have to wait and see you know, what happens whenever it comes to, you know, whenever it releases. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think that Keqing's VA deserves to be recast? And, you know, do you think that this is good news? Or do you think that, you know, you wanted her to stay? Honestly, I'm very happy that she's gone. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, go over to GameSubs, use my code Kazakh, get 10% off again. There's a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. So, see ya.